Hi, I am Sayad. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe. In this video I will tell you about the complete evolution of Nissan Skyline GT-R from 1969 to 2023. The Nissan Skyline GT-R is a sports car based on the Nissan Skyline range. The original Skyline was launched by the Prince Motor Company in April 1957 and was powered by a 1.5-litre engine. The GT-R abbreviation stands for Gran Turismo Racing, while the GTB stands for Gran Turismo Berlinetta. Following the end of R34 production in 2002, Nissan announced they would separate the GT-R model from the Skyline name, creating an entirely new vehicle. First generation, 1969 to 1972. The first Skyline GT-R was introduced on the 4th of February 1969. It was available originally as a four-door sedan after a public debut at the October 1968. It was equipped with the 2.0 Litre DOHC S20 Inline-six engine rated at 160 horsepower at 7,000 revolutions per minute. Power was delivered to the rear wheels by a 5-speed manual transmission, and the car was equipped with a limited slip differential. The first Skyline GT-R rode on a semi-trailing arm strut suspension. The braking system consisted of disc brakes at the front and drum brakes at the rear. It was available in a coupé body style in March 1971 with the chassis code KPGC10. The second-generation Skyline GT-R was introduced in 1973 after its introduction at the 1972 Tokyo Motor Show. Powered by a 1989cc S20 Inline-six engine. The second generation of the GT-R delivered power to the rear wheels through a 5-speed manual gearbox. This car also had both front and rear disc brakes. The suspension was a semi-trailing ring arm setup and minor aerodynamic parts were added. The second generation GT-R was unsuccessful, as a petrol crisis hit in the early 1970s, reducing demand for high-performance sports cars. A total of 197 cars were built by the end of its short production run. Third generation, 1989 to 1994. After discontinuing the Skyline GT-R in 1973, Nissan revived the GT-R nameplate again in 1989. The new generation of the GT-R, EBN R32 chassis, commonly shortened to R32, was designed to dominate Group A-class racing. Nissan Koki originally tested a twin-turbocharged 2.4-litre bored-and-stroked version of the RB20 engine. This setup resulted in a power output of 312 horsepower and used a rear-wheel drive drivetrain. This new 2.6-litre RB26 DETT-powered all-wheel drive concept was put into production as the R32 Nissan Skyline GT-R. The R32 developed 276 horsepower at 6,800 revolutions per minute. The Skyline GT-R in 1-foot model was introduced on the 19th of July 1991. The most notable change was in the engine, which was upgraded to the R32N1 specification. Nissan introduced the Skyline GT-R V-Spec Victory specification package on the 3rd of February 1993. Finally, on the 14th of February 1994, the Skyline GT-R V-Spec 2 was introduced, with the only change being wider 245/45 R17 tires. Fourth generation, 1995 to 1998. The R33 GT-R went on sale on the 6th of January 1995 with the base model GT-R and the V-Spec model. The V-Spec model had sportier suspension resulting in lower ground clearance. The V-Spec also featured all-wheel drive system, which included an active limited slip differential. The engine option include 2.6-litre and 2.8-litre twin-turbocharged. It used the same turbochargers and the same specification for the manual gearbox, although the synchros were stronger. The R33 ended production on the 9th of November 1998. The last R33 GT-R produced was a V-Spec in GV1 finished in black pearl color. In 1997, Autech made a limited edition GT-R 4-door sedan to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Skyline nameplate. While 400 of the Autech 40th anniversary were planned, in the end 416 examples were built. R33 GT-R was the first production vehicle to break into the sub-8-minute mark. In 1999, the record was broken by a GT-R R34. A special edition of the R33 was introduced on 1 February 1995, named as Nismo 400R, with 400R standing for horsepower of the engine and for racing respectively. The engine developed 400 horsepower, which allowed a top speed of over 300 km per hour. Nissan introduced GT-R LM or GT1 race car in 1995. The car was equipped with the N1 specification engine which had a power output of 400 horsepower. The first Le Mans, or LM, version, was introduced in May 1996 to celebrate Nissan's participation in the 24 Hours of Le Mans. The only body color available for the R33 LM was Champion Blue. Nissan produced just 188 units of this model, 86 GT-R LM Limited and 102 volt spec LM Limited. Fifth generation, 1999 to 2002. The R34, Skyline GT-R, GT-R V-Spec and GT-R V-Spec N1 models were introduced in January 1999. Engine option includes 2.6-litre and 2.8 twin-turbocharged Z-Tune with 6-speed Getrag 233 manual transmission. A new feature on the R34 GT-R is a 5.8 inches LCD multifunction display, which shows turbocharger pressure, oil and water temperature. The GT-R V-Spec model added 2 extra features to the display: intake and exhaust gas temperatures. In October 2000, Nissan introduced the V-Spec 2. In February 2002, Nissan launched a final production model of the R34 GT-R called the Skyline GT-R V-Spec 2 Noir and the Skyline GT-R M-Spec Noir. The Noir model featured an improved RB26DETT based on the N1 racing engine. Nismo originally designed the concept of the Z-Tune in 2002 when Nissan was putting an end to the R34 Skyline production. Following the end of R34 production in 2002, Nissan announced they would separate the GT-R model from the Skyline name, creating an entirely new vehicle. This new car, now known simply as the Nissan GT-R, debuted in 2007 in Tokyo. The Nissan GT-R is powered by 3.8-litre twin-turbocharged DOHC V6 engine with plasma-transferred wire arc-sprayed cylinder bores and used 6-speed Borg-Warner dual-clutch transmission producing 480 horsepower at 6,400 revolutions per minute. For the 2010 model year, Nissan updated the GT-R by increasing the engine power output to 362 kilowatts producing 485 horsepower. In 2010, for the 2011 model year, the GT-R was revised, featured the same engine with an altered mapping, changed valve timing, larger inlets and a modified exhaust system which boosts rated power to 395 kilowatts producing 530 horsepower. Nissan introduced the 2015 model year GT-R. Engine power remained as same as the previous version, but upgraded the suspension setup with revised settings, which led to reduced load fluctuation between 4 wheels, better stability and more consistent grip. In 2016, for the 2017 model year, the GT-R was facelifted and recodenamed as 4BAR35, which had the same twin-turbocharged, 3.8-litre V6 engine, but increased engine output to 4,565 horsepower at 6,400 revolutions per minute. Maximum speed of the engine was also increased from 7,000 to 7,100 revolutions per minute. The transmission system was also refined to shift gears smoothly and quieter than before. Other upgrades include new front and rear bumpers, improving cooling and downforce. Entire interior was offered with a new leather material, including a new steering wheel, new 8-inch display infotainment system and upgraded braking system. In 2023, for the 2024 model year, the GT-R was facelifted. The new version was introduced at the 2023 Tokyo Auto Salon. The 2023 GT-R's standard twin-turbo 3.8-litre V6 makes a mighty 565 horsepower and 467 pound-feet of torque. It hooks up to a 6-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive that conspire to put all that power to the pavement. At test track, the GT-R launched itself from 0 to 60 miles per hour in a mere 2.9 seconds. Top speed is 330 km/h. Changes include a redesigned and optimized front and rear fascias, bumper sides, front grille and rear wing. These upgrades led to improved aerodynamics around the nose and rear diffuser, increased downforce without changing the drag coefficient. Thanks for watching Automotive Revolution. Please subscribe my YouTube channel.